I broke off a small piece of a cookie and tossed it to the mouse in the corner, because if it were not for him, I never would have found any food. After getting some energy back, I suddenly noticed there was a fidget spinner inside the package, so I started playing with it without thinking. But when it stopped spinning, I suddenly realized something. Then I immediately looked up at the cooling fan above my head. At that moment, a bold idea hit me. I ripped a steel pipe off a nearby shelf, then aimed the pipe at the fan cover. Using leverage, I kept pushing with all my strength. Before long, I pried the fan cover off. Next, I lifted the pipe and aimed it at the fan spinning at full speed. With my hands already frozen stiff, I gripped the pipe and stabbed forward. But unexpectedly, the pipe was knocked straight back. Sharp pain instantly shot through my hands. At this moment, the fan was still spinning rapidly, and the temperature inside the cold storage had already dropped to minus 17 degrees. For a moment, I felt completely hopeless. But then I saw the little mouse still struggling to survive. Looking at the poor thing, I tried holding it in my chest to keep it from freezing to death. Just as I was ready to wait for death like this, I suddenly felt a lighter in my bag. I lit it without hesitation, even though it was just a tiny flame. It instantly gave me hope. Another bold idea suddenly came to mind. I took out my college acceptance letter and set it on fire without a second thought. The huge flame immediately made me feel warm, but the heat was still not enough, so I tore pages from my textbooks. The roaring flames quickly gave off a lot of heat. I finally felt warm, and the temperature inside the freezer kept rising. Just when everything seemed to be getting better, thick smoke suddenly made me cough violently. As a college student, I suddenly realized if this kept going, I would soon suffocate from the smoke. So with great reluctance, I used cardboard to put out the fire. The moment the flames went out, a wave of freezing cold rushed back in. But the very next second, I found something life-saving in the burned remains. The picture of an ice shelter instantly inspired me, so I used all my strength to stand up and kept moving goods inside the freezer with non-stop effort. I quickly built a simple ice shelter. Even though it was far from airtight, it could still block the cold wind as much as possible. Then I curled myself into the cramped space and kept flicking the lighter on, trying to wait for rescue using that weak flame. However, after only 2.5 minutes, the fuel inside the lighter ran out, and at this point I could not hold on any longer. When I woke up again, I found the little mouse that had kept me company lying motionless on the ground. Seeing that my only companion was in bad shape, I tried to rush over to check on it, but sudden pain shot through my arm. Only then did I realize, after just one sleep, my arm had frozen onto the cardboard beneath me. In the end, I had no choice but to rip my arm free. When I finally checked on the mouse, I found it frozen solid and cold. That tiny bit of hope was shattered once again. I no longer had the courage to keep going, so I passed out on the spot. Just when I thought I was about to die like this, the freezer door slowly opened.